Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Lusheen, and this is basically the last video or lecture for the course. And some of you have asked me some questions, and I just want to quickly go over what the expectations are and a couple other things. So what you see in front of you is week 14. That's this coming week. I've got two videos. One was recorded just a couple months ago. One was recorded almost 8 years ago. Well, maybe a little over 8 years ago. What I want you to do is watch them both and kind of compare the two. So here's the assignment for this week. Take some notes on the major parts, what you basically learned from each. Yeah, the more recent one is longer, but I think it's a quick listen. The other one's shorter. And I just want you to kind of highlight those points and then kind of compare them. Which one do you think best meets this goal of talking about current and future safety? Of course, one's a lot earlier, so it'd be interesting if I predicted something and it either happened or didn't happen. And then I want you to kind of think about the semester. What was the most important part of this course to you? What were your primary takeaways? Do you have any suggestions? And then the last thing to kind of finish everything, I'll make sure you get your semester project in. If you need more time, let me know. Happy to give you an extension, at least through next week. I'd want everything in by Friday for sure. Make sure that all your grades are updated. If I missed anything, I'm sorry, let me know and we'll fix it. No problem there. Please complete the course evaluation. We're doing something different. And this is brand new. This is the first semester we're doing it differently. So unfortunately, I don't know how it works. A couple of you have already provided a screenshot that you completed the course evaluation. Please upload that to the Canvas site and I'll give you the points for it. And for the final exam, I'm going to talk about that in a moment here. So please do that. There's a reflection. Lecture slate. Yeah, there's nothing there. Just watch the two videos, complete that. Semester project is posted here. If you'll recall, I had posted it originally between week 9 and week 10. I've got some examples of what I want you to do so you can kind of see what was done. I'm going to make it really simple. I want you to take, a topic from the course, and I want you to just relate it to something in the real world. Some people have asked, well, what do you mean by that? You're in a Target and you want to look at the fire escape. You're in a convenience store and you want to look at slip, trip, and fall. You're in your workplace and you want to look at, I don't know, anything. Something small. I just want you to relate what's going on from this course into the real world. We had done like very small versions of that through some of the weekly assignments, the reflections, but I want to be kind of a broader. And so you can look at these and see what to do. That's really it. I just want sort of an application to the real world of some of the things we covered in class. Yes, so here's where you upload the course evaluation, your picture, the picture that you verify that you took it. Please do that. And I don't know what the due date is. I'm assuming it's going to be by next Friday or this coming Friday, depending on. The final exam is due by Friday the 15th by midnight. There are 10 questions. Let me bring that in real quick. Here are the 10 questions. So you're going to go to the OSHA website and you're going to give me the full listing of employer responsibilities and employee rights. I think when I created my tour video, I showed you that stuff. And actually, it may have been the assignment too. Then I want you to find the updated field operations manual. It's something I talked about earlier in the semester. I believe it was week 2 we covered OSHA. Was it week 2 or week 3? Might have been week 3. Maybe it was week 4. Somewhere in there. And so you try to find CPL 0200164. Look at Chapter 6. That's where they talk about how they calculate the penalty amounts, and then provide a summarization of it. I'm okay with copying and pasting, but make it, be reasonable with it, please. Some of it is easier to summarize through typing up something. Others, copy a picture of a particular table or figure. Then I want you to go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics and do 2 incidence rates calculations. I gave you 2 companies here. And I gave you everything you need to enter into it, and I practiced it. And then I just want you to, explain to me what does it mean? What do these numbers mean? Which company would be safer and why, given the incidence rates? Number 4, there was a fatality at a lumber mill in Wisconsin back in 2019. And OSHA investigated it. And so I want you to go to the establishment finder Actually, it's these. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Establishment search. Excuse me. On the OSHA website, I give you a direct link. Put in the company name and select Wisconsin. And there's I think there's 3 inspections in the last like 15 years. So I want you to look at the one that is labeled as Fat Cat. And I also gave the activity number, so you should know what it is. And then I want you to answer these 5 questions based on it. The 5th question, I want you to go to the NIOSH Pocket Guide and look up grain dust. I didn't provide the link there, but it is right here. So all the links, I checked them both. So the links are all right here for you to go to what you need to. For the NIOSH Pocket Guide, I want you to search for grain dust, oat, wheat, barley, and then just answer a few questions. See if you just read it. Again, this is almost like a scavenger hunt. You're basically finding things. The last 5 questions are very critical. This is a big part of what we've been leading up to all semester. In that, I've given you 5 updated, and I verified all these because sometimes those links go bad, 5 accident videos. One is more of a documentary accident reenactment. The other 4 are actual surveillance video and footage. If you get queasy in seeing someone get injured or hurt, you can look away or pause it, whatever you have to not see that. I'm not trying to get you to see somebody get hurt. What I want you to do is I want you to see in the real world what happens. As a safety professional, I've had to endure some pretty tough things, and so this stuff doesn't bother me, but it may bother you. And I had some lot worse ones that I eliminated. I asked my wife what she thought, and she chose these 5. So for each one of these 5, I want you to do 3 things. I want you to identify and describe the primary hazards and the injuries that occur. I would like you to try and use the language or definitions from either the textbook, OSHA, or NIOSH. Okay. Then I want you to cite the proper OSHA standard. What was violated? What would cover what you saw? And 4 of the 5 are general industry, so you should be only using 29 CFR 1910. For the 10th one, you can use 1926. Some of you have kind of deviated from that. Nobody should be citing 1915 or 1917. Doesn't count. It's 1910 for general industry. That'd be 6 through 9, and 10 would be 1926. And you can kind of just search through there, see what applies. It's pretty straightforward. All right. And then finally, what I want you to do is using the hazard control hierarchy. So this is getting into the chapters you read. What would be the recommendations that would mitigate the accident you observed or that is described? Whether it's a different working at height device, personal fall arrest, better machine safeguarding or lockout tagout. There's a lot of things. Don't just default to training. I'd like you to try and use the hazard control hierarchy. So start with elimination and engineering controls all the way down to what type of PPE they would need. Okay? That is the final exam. I put in there it takes 3 to 4 hours. Some students say they get it done in an hour. It depends how proficient you are with the OSHA website, to be honest. That's the final exam. So type it all out or put it all in a Word document. You can save it as a PDF if you want or save it as a Word document and upload it. That's the final exam. And upload it right here. I think it's a really good demonstration of sort of the practicality of the course. And so I'm actually really proud of the final exam. I actually think it's kind of fun. So that's this week. What I want to end with is I want to kind of just talk about some of the stuff that I've been doing. So you may or may not know this, but for the past year, for the entire calendar year of 2023, I've actually been working part-time as an EHS manager for a company in Madison. And I just want to share my last quarterly presentation to corporate on what I've been doing. So here are my performance metrics or KPIs, key performance indicators. That's what KPI stands for. So this is January through October of 2023. I presented it in November. And interestingly enough, when I got in there, when they started showing me what they wanted me to report, they just wanted me to report OSHA recordable stuff, days away stuff, and incidence rates, and some other variants of that. And I said, that's interesting, but that doesn't really tell us where we should focus or give us an indication of where we'll be in the future. So then I proposed some ratios of combined ratios of lagging and leading indicators, and then a set of leading indicators. The idea being if you do good things, less bad things would happen. That's the assumption. That's the hypothesis. And so what I did is I leaned very heavily on getting workers and supervisors and leads and maintenance techs, everybody out on the plant floor to talk to me and share things and document when something doesn't go right, like a near miss or a report only. And don't let something be so severe that you have to go to the hospital to report it. That I can't fix things. And then what I told everybody is I can't fix things that you don't tell me about. And so I was trying to increase the number. And so I knew what they had in the previous year because I saw their reporting system, and I I changed it. I updated it. And so my goal for 2023 was to get over 240, and I've already surpassed 400, and it's all due to workers talking to me. It started out slow and it really picked up, and I'll show you that. And then I'm also tracking what I'm completing. In 2022, they completed 121 of the reported issues. I'm at 204, so obviously I've increased. But here's the thing. There's some doubles, triples, quadruples of the same sort of issue, and I'm currently working to compress all those, and I set up a prioritized list of what to try to get done before I leave. That my position just got posted this past week, and I'm trying to find someone, hopefully that I've already taught, and then I'll stay an extra 2 to 3 weeks and make sure that their transition is seamless and they know exactly what I was doing, and they can take off from there. Due to the company underestimating what their sales was going to be, production has been the primary focus. So I haven't pulled people off the line to do as much formalized training as I was supposed to do. I've done some, but not near what I'd wanted to do. I had hoped to get, again, like 24 topics done. I'm only at 10. But it's something I can quickly pick up, but I'll help the next person make sure that they're doing it, because things should slow down after the first of the year, we hope. I didn't complete formalized job hazard analyses or safety audits because I was spending so much time listening to people and trying to correct it. So that system needs to be completely updated. But I did perform a worker perception survey. I was hoping to get like an 80% or a 4 out of 5. I got a 3.7 out of 5, which isn't bad. And it actually sparked a lot of discussion. And so it was a good thing. And then as far as the OSHA recordables and stuff, I've got the 2022 numbers here. Or at least the best I could. And then based on those, I set up a 20% year over year reduction for my goals. And as you can see, we're doing pretty well, especially with the ratios. I'm really proud of that. The number of reported first aid injuries is higher. We just exceeded last year's. But the thing is, what I tell them is, yeah, we don't want first aid injuries, but we want to hear about first aid injuries. So if they're occurring, we want to know about them. And that's kind of what it means. So overall, this effort to engage workers and correct things, and then educating management and leads and supervisors and engineers along the way, it appears to be a successful approach. Okay. Here are 5 years of OSHA log data. You guys remember talking about that? And then I've got my no lost time ratio, which if you're in safety, we'll talk about this in depth. Ad nauseum in 483. And as you can see, my goal was to get above a 1-to-1, and I'm there. I've actually gotten there. So it's pretty cool that being able to mitigate these as well. And here's a comparison of total case incidence rate and DART incidence rate of the previous calendar years. And by the way, 2020 is an outlier. That was a COVID year, and things are really messed up with their data. But as you can see, I'm doing like a cumulative over time. We're doing okay. We're doing good. Here's sort of a me backtracking on the things they used to report. And what I was trying to show corporate is that you wanted me to report these things, but look at what happens when you're successful. There's nothing here. So there is no value, but I still keep reporting it until they say, you know what, you're right. But yeah, that's what I'm finding. So what I did is over here on the left, I've got the causes of my recordable injuries versus the causes from my first aid, report only, and near miss. And you see how much more data I have. But if you guys remember talking about Heinrich, that we need to investigate the exposure's the thing, and not wait for things to be severe. And so now I kind of know what to look for and where to look for them versus having only 7 things to look at. I'm looking at a lot more. It gives me more insight to come up with better mitigation strategies. So I talked about how I focused on increasing reports and observations and corrections, and this is what I achieved. Yeah, so that's very considerable. I'm gonna have a little bit of a drop off in November. I was really busy with my full-time job. I shouldn't laugh about that. I feel bad that I haven't been able to be here more to accomplish more, but you can see that where my time and effort has been focused. And then to finish out the year and begin the next year, I've got my senior design class working on a few case studies for me. And so I talked about what I'm trying to accomplish. What I feel anecdotally, and I'll prove it through more objective data, that these are the main things I'd find from my observations. We're formalizing it. We're making sure it's at minimum OSHA compliant, but hopefully above and beyond, and more of like a best in class. And I think there are some secondary ones too. Yeah. And so these will be the things I may be handing off to the new person, my replacement, whoever's going to be full time. But so I've got 15 things, and I bet that probably accounts for a good 80%, 70 to 80% of what was on my to-do list. So that's what I've been doing. That's who I am. I just want to let you all know that I really enjoy this class because I know a lot of you are not safety majors. I am through and through a safety professional first and a teacher second because I love to practice. Even though this year has been hyper exhausting. I don't know what you guys have. I'm sure you kids have a new term for that. It's been wonderful. I feel like I've been at a fantasy camp being able to practice and then teach too. And all these case studies are going to be things I'm going to be able to incorporate in my classes. So if you're in safety, I look forward to seeing you in another class. If you're a non-safety major, you ever have a question, please reach out to me. I have all kinds of people reach out to me all the time. If you're a LinkedIn person like me, find me on there. Otherwise, again, I just want to thank you all. Please complete the class survey, because I do read what students comment on so I can improve my classes. But yeah, I hope to run into you again. But otherwise, I wish you the best in all your careers and happy holidays.